Hey guys, so I was scrolling around online and I ended up finding this tag and it said the Happily Married tag, and I thought, what a perfect thing to do to start off the new year. Anybody who knows that I'm completely smitten with my husband. He's my best friend, and I've said that before in other videos, and so I wanted to go ahead and do this tag. I have my laptop set up over here, so I will be panning this way to read the questions. And we are going to jump right into this. I'm trying to make this video as short as possible for you guys, but still get into pretty good detail. So let's jump right in. Number one is, did you date much before you met your husband? The answer is no. I was in a long-term relationship before I met my husband. And then I met him, we became friends. After I ended my relationship, we decided to start dating. I went from one long-term relationship to a long-term marriage. So no, I did not date a lot before I ended up getting with my husband. Number two is, did online dating exist and would you have used it? So we had things like Facebook and MySpace and Plenty of Fish and all that stuff. So obviously dating websites were around, but no, I've never used them. I'm more of a social butterfly, so talking to people online just isn't my thing. So my answer is no, I would not have used a dating website. Number three is, where do you think is a great place to find a guy? I think that a great place to find a guy would be somewhere that you like to go. If you like going to the gym, look for a gym guy. If you're looking to go painting and you meet a guy at painting, then run with it. Go look for a guy that enjoys doing the same things that you do. That way you know that you guys already have stuff in common. Number four is, what qualities would you tell a single lady to look for in a man? I would tell a single lady to look for a man that is driven, a guy that treats his mom great, a guy that is wanting to be successful and has aspirations and goals in life. Don't look for a guy that's like 30 years old living in his mom's basement playing video games. Like, that's not going to be a successful relationship. Number five is, what dating advice would you give your daughter? This is a hard one for me because I don't even want to picture my daughter dating. She's one, but I know it's going to come around, and I think the best advice that I can give her is the advice that my mom gave me. And when my mom was coming to her end, she ended up telling me that the way that I should look at love and marriage and relationships is, if you're standing at the altar with your soon-to-be husband and you line up behind you every man that you've ever been with, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, if you line all of them up behind you, are you going to be proud of what's behind you? Because the way that my mom taught me to look at love and lust is to make sure that you're making the right choices, because every time you commit to somebody emotionally or physically, you're putting that person into your life forever. You're giving that person a piece of your life. So the best advice that I would give my daughter is, don't do something just because everybody else is doing it. Do it because it makes you comfortable. And if you're not comfortable, then that's okay. But you don't have to do something just because everybody else is doing it. And also, make good choices. If you look back at this and you don't see this being a forever thing, then don't do it. Number six is, how did you meet and how old were you? So I met my husband when I was 18. I was fresh out of high school, 2009. And me and him actually went to the same high school. I was a freshman when he was a senior, and I did not know him in school, but we attended the same high school. But after high school, I ended up getting invited to his house by a mutual friend of ours, and we met and we built a really good friendship, and then everything kind of went on from there. Number seven is, did you play hard to get? Yes. So he would flirt with me all the time, and then like I was really mean to him, and I would do like little bratty things to him, and it was kind of like a cat and mouse game. And me and him have always been cat and mouse, like forever. We're still like that sometimes. Number eight is, did you know that he was the one right away? And did he know? I knew that he was the one right away. After we got to know each other, I knew that the relationship I was in was not the relationship for me, and I knew that he had a lot more to offer than what my relationship that I was in was offering me. And I started to really lust for something more, and that's why I ended up ending my other relationship. There were also other deciding factors, but those don't matter. And I would say that he knew right away too, because me and him made that eye contact as like, I see you, like I see you seeing me kind of thing. And so I think we did. I think we both knew right away that that was the person that we wanted to at least be with for a little bit. Number 9 is, what qualities did your husband love about you when you first started dating? I don't know, because I was a brat. I was a drunken party girl. I was loud. I was obnoxious. I'm not really sure what my husband liked about me, but he found something because he married me. So number 10 is, did you have a timeline for marriage in your mind before you got married? I didn't. I never wanted to get married. And so it was like the furthest thing from my mind. I've always been a flight, so I didn't want to be tied down and not been able to run freely if I wanted to. It's just how I've always been, but obviously my husband changed that. Number 11 is, did you have to nudge your husband towards marriage, or did it just happen on its own? It kind of just happened. Me and him decided, after 2 kids and living in 2 states and whatever, that we needed to get married. We already called each other husband and wife anyway, so we figured it was just time to make it official. Number 12 is, did your parents have any influence on the kind of marriage that you wanted? No, they didn't. We decided really early on that neither my dad or his mom would have any influence on anything that happened in our marriage or our life in general as a couple. And that's because we had a lot of people trying to influence our relationship back when we lived in California, and it was really toxic to our relationship, and it did more harm than good. All of the advice that people would try and give were not helping the situation. So we decided to swear off everybody coming into our relationship. So every decision that we make in our life is between me and him 110% with no interruptions. Number 13 is, what did you love most about your wedding? Me and him just went and did a courthouse wedding, and the thing that I loved most about it is it was me, him, and our 2 kids, and that was it. Number 14 is, what elements of your wedding didn't matter as much as you thought they would? I really thought that my dad being there was going to be the deal breaker for me, because I've always wanted to have my dad walk me down the aisle if I did get married, and my dad being my only parent, I thought that it was a really big deal for him to be there. But as I got older and as I grew closer to my husband, boyfriend, fiance, whatever you want to call him at the time, I decided that I love my dad and I will always need my dad, but the only people that I really needed there was my husband and my kids. Number 15 is the first year of marriage really the hardest? I can't answer that question honestly, because we were already basically married. We did everything like a married couple, and literally, to me and him both, we feel like we just signed a piece of paper. It doesn't feel like we really, changed anything. So I'm gonna say I can't really answer that honestly. Number 16 is, what advice would you give a newlywed couple? I would say, learn to ignore your significant other. Go in the room, lock the door, and get away from them if you guys start arguing, because obviously you both need time to cool down, and fueling the fire and arguing and bickering does not solve anything. Go in the room, lock the door, and talk when you're both calm, because defueling the situation is way better than trying to solve it in the heat of a moment. Number 17, and the last question is, if you're religious, how has your faith influenced your marriage? We are not religious, so it has not influenced our marriage at all. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the bell next to the subscribe button so that way you get notifications on our upcoming content, and we will see you guys next time.